should get you to expand your mind some on that wine, sir. That wine tasting.
Ah, man, I'm a whiskey drinker. You know that.
Yeah, well, fucking expand your mind some, man.
I did. It's called LSD. Small doses, kids.
No.
Not kids. I'm kidding. Nobody should be doing drugs.
Don't do drugs.
Don't do drugs, even though they make almost everything amazing.
We don't know from experience.
No, I'm lying. They don't. I'm just a horrible role model.
Yeah. So,
I'm not even a role model. I'm just horrible.
Are you well aware, sir, that there's more alcohol content in wine than what there is whiskey?
Bro, I have a barrel of Tennessee Gold right here. Don't tell me that. Okay?
Tennessee
Because I
Piss.
know boys get them. Look, I don't care what anybody says. This is like my third shot now. We've had to do this twice.
Yeah. For those of you that aren't aware.
Tennessee Gold.
Looks like piss.
It's not, though. That is.
The cups are Kelly.
Why would you do that? I don't even want to drink it now.
You're welcome.
You're fucking horrible. No, I hate you. You're fucking horrible. You're great at doing weddings, but I hate you.
So, what are some of the places? What are some of the, okay, how about this? If I were to take you to a whiskey tasting test, where would you want to go for a wine tasting test?
I don't know, but I know here in Jersey we have some pretty good local wineries. Actually, Allstead Farms down the road.
You told me of a certain restaurant.
Yeah.
What was the name of it again?
So there's Seasons 52, there's the Capitol Grill, and then there's the place called Rails.
You get railed?
No.
And
it's just
start the intro. That would suck.
It's just on the train tracks. It's like
you get railed on the train tracks.
Okay. No. The restaurant is actually an old train station that they refurbished into a very like upscale, classy restaurant. Like you have to wear like a dinner jacket,
Okay.
or like a blazer of some kind, or like a suit.
Yeah.
It's very expensive, very classy, if I should say. I've only been there three times.
Was it Pinky Up?
Yeah, Pinky Out. I've been there 3 times. It's pretty good. Next time you come out here, we'll go.
Yeah.
But you gotta dress up.
Fuck. I love dressing up like 007 sometimes.
That's... Hey, like... You can wear, like... Just like a casual, everyday, like, business suit. Like, don't even have to wear, like... So, I would say, like, dress casual. Khakis, shoes... a nice like collared shirt, button downs are nice too. You don't have to wear a tie, but like it's optional and shit.
So apparently, by the way, welcome to the Article 1776
I'm fancy,
podcast.
Bitch.
I am probably supposed to be dressed up, Matt. This is. Oh yeah, that too.
Scottsdale 87.
Tennessee
Whiskey
Piss,
Joe, I guess.
Tennessee Piss drinking Scottsdale.
Boy, them don't ever drive through Tennessee. Them boys are gonna get you now.
Come at me, boys.
Did Newman come on you?
That too. So, I had some good news for everyone. Well, more notoriety. I was walking through Charlotte Airport on the way back home from your wedding, and I was wearing, you know what shirt I was wearing?
Was it your Democratic National Convention shirt 2023?
I'm gonna go fuck yourself.
That was probably one of ours.
Yeah, it was the Stack Bodies t-shirt,
Okay.
which you can find at article1776.com.
Use code SC8710. Get 10% off your order.
Oh, use whatever code that you want.
Use mine.
Use it now.
Do it.
But no, I was walking through Charlotte Airport, and I actually got a tap on my shoulder, and it was like there was a gentleman and his wife right behind me. He said, I love your shirt. I see the back of it. And turns out I think he was a Marine Corps Raider or Scout Sniper back in the olden days.
Hoorah.
And so, I was getting to talk to him. I was saying, like, I was a part of a 1st Battalion, 2nd Marines Charlie Company, yada, yada, yada. And
rah, rah, rah.
Rah, 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 with the crayon on the side of my mouth.
Rah.
Shout out to Nico. But no, I told him, I showed him more of the shirt, and then I mentioned a shirt that kind of took a jab at Hunter Biden.
Fuck you, Hunter.
One of our shirts that says tax hikes and crack pipes. So he said, like, oh, I'm going to buy 2 shirts now.
I'm going to get me one of them's. Oh, hell yeah. I'm about that. Like, look. If you see us out and about wearing a shirt, fucking stop us, man. Yeah. Stop us. Say something. Ask us about it.
We'll even take pictures if we get that big enough.
We are not that famous yet.
Well, I mean, like we're getting notoriety pretty much. Like we're doing pretty good for ourselves. We're growing numbers, and then we're getting notoriety both in good and limelight, good and negative limelight.
I got new stuff coming out. I'm working hard. I'm gonna see if you can get this one. Mm-hmm. I got something on my mind right now.
Is it a number between 1 and 10?
It's not a number. It's an item.
Okay.
I have something on my mind right now that I'm like literally working on right now.
Okay. I know this is a... Oh, yeah, okay. I'm trying to... I don't know why I'm thinking about the Illuminati. Like the...
No!
A hat.
Yes, everybody, I'm working on a hat right now as we speak, as we're talking about things live in person.
I don't know why I thought about the Illuminati for a second. Illuminati confirmed.
I am not Illuminati.
But, so you want to head... I am not okay.
Sorry. No, I had to. Fuck you guys.
So, okay. So, we got a slew of things that we want to talk about. But what's the topic you want to talk about first?
You sent me an article today that I was not able to read.
Oh, okay. So I thought we were going to talk about the other thing first and then leading to
What's
the
other
president's
thing again?
stuff. The 20th Amendment? Or was it the...
No, you wanted to talk about the emails first, then we were going to roll into that.
Okay. So I got you here. This is
because you know I'm interested in this. Like, I've been keeping up on this, and you gave me this information today, and I started salivating. I was like, yes, do that one, that thing, do it.
Okay. So this is from the leadingreport.com. House Republicans confirm Joe Biden is guilty of treason and could face life in prison if convicted. I don't know how true this is, but the next part of the article, it says, House Republicans have found emails that prove without a shadow of a doubt that Joe Biden has abused his power as vice president to protect his son. This goes into further onto the article. James Cormer, I think it's said that. James Cormer said Biden used at least 3 fake names in emails that he was receiving from the federal government, and we learned that when he was receiving emails from Ukraine, Hunter Biden was copied on them. This is obvious that Joe Biden abused his power as vice president to protect his son, and this email ties Joe Biden and Hunter Biden into this corruption scheme without a shadow of a doubt. Joe Biden has stated that there was an absolute wall between his family's foreign business schemes and his duties as vice president, but evidence now reveals that access was wide open for his family's influence peddling. Vice President Joe Biden emailed Hunter under the alias Robin Ware, Robert L. Peters, and J.R.B. Ware. Ha.
Junior Beware.
Yeah. To keep his
Isn't that in fucking foreshadowing?
Yeah, to keep his son informed on his communications with Ukraine. Biden is lying when he says he didn't participate or know about his family's influence peddling schemes. Comer, is C-O-M-E-R?
Yeah, Comer.
Is now requesting that documents of then Vice President Joe Biden, which coincide with his son's actions in Ukraine, be made available by the National Archives and Documents Administration, NARA, N-A-R-A. Comer is seeking access to all unedited correspondence and records in which the former Vice President Joe Biden used a pen name. Copies of any correspondence with Hunter Biden, Devin Archer, or Eric Schwerin, S-C-H-W-E-R-I-N.
Never heard of that one. I've heard of Archer, though.
Okay, a good show.
No, no, I get it. No, but I've heard of Devin Archer.
Yeah, good show. And drafts of the address that the former Vice President Biden gave to the Ukrainian Rada in December 2015. I think I said that right, didn't I? Ukrainian Rada?
Not sure. I've never heard of that one.
Okay. Below is a letter sent to NARA, and this is the letter. The Committee on Oversight and Accountability is investigating President Biden's meetings and communications with certain family members and their business associates during his tenure as vice president. Excuse me. The National Archives and Records Administration has published the Biden Vice Presidential Records Collection, which contains information relevant to the committee's work. Many of these records have been redacted for publication pursuant to the Presidential Records Act, PRA, and the Freedom of Information Act, FOIA. And that's all.
This is what I want to know, okay? Take into account that you have a career politician for over 47 years, okay? Who didn't do a fuck's worth of shit his entire time in office. He also didn't do shit as a vice president, although many people will say he did. I don't think he did shit as a vice president. Okay? Obviously, he's not doing shit as a president. So, what I'm wondering is, what the fuck are they selling when they're selling Joe Biden? What fucking influence do you really have when you had to, A, rig an election on a massive scale throughout multitudinous different outlets of mishandling ballots, dumping them in a fucking dumpster because they say Donald Trump, writing in dead people, people who can't fucking write to begin with, people who are in prison, people who live in different states at the same time. fake names just in general. Then you've already had one Democratic, nominee involved in a fucking email scandal. Now you've got this douchebag involved in an email scandal. What more do you need?
He learned from Hillary.
What do you... Well, he learned from Hillary, and that's why he got caught. Because, Hillary's just as dumb with that.
Yeah.
What the fuck? And then to sit here and, play everything off. Your piece of shit son is some fucking saint. Did you know that he got kicked out of the Navy for failing a drug test?
Yeah. I know.
Go figure, right?
Yeah.
Go figure. Did you know that? Well, he technically, I'll give him this. Technically, Hunter Biden is a lawyer. But what has he done as a lawyer? He was a DA for Maryland, I think, or some shit. Don't quote me on that, but I do know he was a DA for
Baltimore. How fucked up that can be. It wouldn't surprise me that he tried to be a lawyer for Baltimore, Maryland, Baltimore.
I don't know how people can't see what's going on in this world. We're being fed a bunch of bullshit, being fed a bunch of fucking bullshit ass division, just to kind of cover up the fact that our government is shit now. And everyone's so enthralled with their own bullshit that they don't really realize what's about to happen.
I have said this earlier today, and it stuck with me. Get ready for some truth.
Send it.
Just because you are there's male and female, but because you are some ethnicity or some form of difference than what I am, or same than what I am, does not mean that you automatically think the same like me because we're same skin tone or something like that. What that is collectivization. Is that the government is collecting one side of whatever race and tried to promote, hey, what did Joe Biden say? If you didn't vote for me, you ain't what?
You're not black.
Exactly. So if they're treating a group of individuals just as a group and not even thinking about the individual, while so many people are parlaying right into the media's little playbook and saying oh yeah, this is racism, and then there are quite a few individuals that think individually, say no, wait, what?
Yeah. They're
beginning to wake up and starting to realize that we're being played by the media.
I'm hoping people start fucking waking up. Man, this is getting ridiculous.
And word to a lot of people out there, what the media is trying to portray out there isn't necessarily always all black and white. It's crazy. And then you find out some of this shit that Biden has been doing.
But if you didn't already see that coming, maybe you don't need to be voting.
Yeah. Or maybe you're just living in an echo chamber. Again with the echo chamber.
In your own little echo chamber.
Yeah.
No, how can you not acknowledge the fact that he's fucking shit up?
When is he not?
I don't know. This our country's, I don't know. I think we're going to hell in a handbasket, and we're kind of just along for the ride at this point.
I have a little something for you. What if Marilyn Monroe was alive and tried to sing "Happy Birthday"? I think Joe Biden would try to sniff her.
I think he'd have a heart attack.
Yeah.
Did you see the fucking post I sent you earlier?
No.
70-year-old. It was a 71-year-old man arrested in a California shopping center for sniffing little kids, and it showed a picture of Joe Biden, and it said it's State of the Union address, and then it cuts to the other anchor, and he's like, It was like, someone's getting fired for this. I'm like, yeah, but it's hilarious. I would go out like that.
I've actually shown remember the
Epstein
YouTube
didn't kill himself.
Yeah. The YouTube short that we did with Hunter Biden is the new Rick James Unity. I showed someone out there dying laughing.
Unity.
That's pretty much what it is. But over here at Article 1776 Clothing, we also try to educate, and our Article 1776 podcast and clothing, we also try to go to educate people as much as we can. So, with that being said...
Oh, is that me?
Yes, Mr. Scottsdale, could you please?
No, doing stuff. I had
Hands
to
above
edit.
the table.
No, I had to edit a shirt because the shit was too high up, and now I can't figure out how to erase the original one off the fucking thing and then put it back because I don't do it often.
By the way,
when
guys,
I do it, I don't remember what to do because I don't know what I'm doing.
Do it.
I swear I know what I'm doing.
While we're working, we're still working.
I try to always work. I try to stay busy.
Keeping
You
productive
stay
is
busy,
healthy.
you stay out of trouble.
Keeping productive is productive.
Keeping productive. Stay productive, people. All right.
Productive is healthy.
So do you remember, like, before I started using, like, the quick guide of the Constitution? Yeah. Well, I found the original thing I was using, so we're gonna use this one again because this breaks it down better. All right. So, if you don't know, the 20th Amendment of our Constitution sets our presidential term and succession limits. So, Section 1 terms. The terms of the President and the Vice President shall end at noon on the 20th day of January, and the terms of Senators and Representatives at noon on the 3rd day of January of the years in which terms would have ended if this article had not been ratified, and the terms of their successors shall then begin. This is kind of like a 1.1 amendment of this. Presidential and Congress terms, which are the Congress shall assemble at least once in every year, and such meetings shall begin at noon on the 3rd day of January, unless they shall, by law, appoint a different day. Succession is for, like, the date when Congress shall meet. If at the time fixed for the beginning of the term of the President-elect shall have died, the Vice President-elect shall become President. If a President shall not have been chosen before the time fixed for the beginning of his term, or if the President-elect shall have failed to qualify, then the Vice President-elect shall act as President until a President shall have qualified. And the Congress may by law provide for the case wherein neither a President-elect nor a Vice President-elect shall have qualified, declaring who shall then act as President, or the manner in which one who is to act shall be selected, and such person shall act accordingly until a President or Vice President shall have qualified. Holy shit. That's a lot.
I'm proud of you for reading.
I are educated. I read good on all words and dots. Section 4, Congress and Presidential Succession. The Congress may, by law, provide for the case of the death of any of the persons from whom the House of Representatives may choose a president whenever the right of choice shall have devolved upon them. I thought it said developed for a second. And for the case of the death of any of the persons from whom the Senate may choose a vice president whenever the right of choice shall have devolved upon them.
Boy,
reading all these words, these words make me feel dumb. Words make me feel dumb.
I'm drinking that Tennessee piss.
Shit, I think I might need another one after this. The Congress may, and I have to stream like after this. Like, this is gonna be fun. I might actually have a drink. I might get the chillers out.
Join us on twitch.tv /Scottsdale87.
You didn't play some fucking drunk. You don't have any whiskey, do you?
No.
I should have sent you
him on
all.
twitch.tv /Scottsdale87.
Play some fucking drunken Fall Guys.
Today's not Friday. Well,
just play drunk guys.
that too. Okay.
Okay, Section 5 effective date. Sections 1 and 2 shall take effect on the 15th day of October following the ratification of this article. Effective dates of Sections 1 and 2 of the 20th Amendment. Section 6 ratification. This article shall be inoperative unless it shall have been ratified as an amendment to the Constitution by the legislatures of 3/4 of the several states within 7 years from the date of its submission. This doesn't really set term limits. As I'm reading this, I don't see anything where it says a president and vice president shall only be in office for 4 years unless they are voted in office for a preceding 4 years by the citizens of the United States.
Well, hold on. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see what. And now this is making me think.
It means there are no real term limits. Joe Biden is going to be a dictator.
Well, no, hold on. Let me, because I gotta.
He's a
I gotta look this up.
Tater.
Dick.
Tater. I just it doesn't say like an actual date.
I'm looking up what prevents the president from running a third term. And it's still loading up.
And still loading.
Yeah. And fuck. Hold on. So it's... I'm going to cut all this out anyways.
Watch, he doesn't really cut it out.
I'd be lazy sometimes.
It's fucking hot in my goddamn office.
The 22nd Amendment to the United States Constitution limits the number of times a person can be elected.
Okay, well, that makes more sense.
So it's so the 20th Amendment kind of sets the guidelines for a president should only run for a certain set time, but not how many times that they could run.
Bro, it is 82 degrees in my office.
But just informing people that there should be a set term limit for presidents in the future.
Yeah.
Is it a sauna in your house?
Dude, it kind of is. I have a huge ass fan under my desk, like pointing at me and like up my shorts.
It's blowing your balls.
The little breeze between the knees, and it's fucking. The thermostat on the wall says 82 fucking degrees in here. Do you know what the temperature is outside?
What?
73 degrees.
That's
it is
nice.
9 degrees cooler outside than it is in my fucking office.
Do you know how hot it was here in Florida?
It's probably like 120.
106.
I live up north. It shouldn't be this fucking hot.
Well, it is you.
Yeah. No.
So
it's fucking hot out here. Sorry. The temperature just changed to 72 degrees outside.
So, it's the 20th Amendment more or less just informs people that there should be a term limit as to how long each president should run. The 22nd Amendment sets it at 2 terms.
I'm about to blow your mind.
Blow me first.
No, God no. We need to call somebody for that. So I don't know the validity of this, but it wasn't a video that someone just randomly made. It was a post through a post through a post that I got on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
X, as it's called now.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's got a thing for X's. Giggity.
His son is named something rather. I forgot the name.
Yeah, but Joe Biden will not be the 24th Democratic national candidate. Apparently, cackling Kamala Harris will take over as president for a short time, while they work her out of the office and replace her with Michelle Obama. Sorry.
Did you see that shit? That was I don't know. It's like I've seen it on YouTube and Instagram of her dancing with Ellen, and then someone caught
it swanging. Yep, yeah. They caught it swanging. But like they caught it swanging with like a because it was being helped to swang.
I mean, like, do you think? And this is just a weird. Now it's weird. I think Obama likes to be pegged or pegging.
Hey,
it's 2023. Do whatever the fuck you want to do.
Do what you do whoever whatever you want to do. It's not my call. I'm not one to speculate like that.
But just don't expect me to call a turkey a ham.
Yeah, like you put a wig on a pig, it's still a fucking pig.
You put it's still a turd.
I mean, you put a wig on a dude, he's still a dude.
Yeah.
Fight me. Out of the comments. Bring it. No. So like I watched a liberal get shut down today. I was online.
Oh, I thought it was going to be like face to face.
I wish I would have laughed. I would have been like, yeah. So, black dude is talking to a rather large white liberal lady. Mm-hmm. And he says, you believe that a man can identify as a woman and then they should be treated and regarded as such. And she's like, yeah, absolutely. You are what you feel. And he goes, all right, do you identify as black? And she goes, no, that's impossible. I'm white. That has to do with like genetics and stuff. And he's like, but if you're born a man and you're born a woman and genetics plays a factor in that, isn't that genetics? And she's like, yeah, but I mean, like, if he's like, so I can transition as a woman and be regarded as a woman. She's like, yeah. He goes, well, what do you like require for like a transition? She's like, well, it's just how you feel. Like, if that's how you feel, you want to take the steps, you do you. And that was her answer. And he's like, well, then why don't you identify as black? And she's like, I'm done with this. That's not how that works. And he was like, genetics plays a factor on whether or not you're white or black. If your parents are black, then you might be, chances are most likely you're going to be black.
Yeah.
If your parents are white, chances are most likely you're going to be white. Now, however, you have a black dad, white mom, chances are you could be predominantly black, you could be predominantly white, or an area in between. That's just, guess what? Genetics, fucker.
Yeah, and here I am going to be taking a stand for women's rights on this subject again. Now you see males trying to take over female sports.
Yeah, great. Celebrate a man for beating a woman again.
Yeah.
It's like giving you a plastic cup with a paper straw. Yeah, and saying, this is good for the environment. This is good for society.
That's a spicy.
But, like, no, I this is something that as we were talking about this, something that came up in my newsfeed today from MSN, so I know this is actually a trusted thing. A California shop owner was shot and killed over her displaying the pride flag in her store. Now I want to say something on that. The first thing I'm going to say is it sucks. That shouldn't have happened because obviously that person is a gun owner. That looks bad for other 2A enthusiasts and supporters. Okay? Can't deny that. Can't deny that the taking of life for somebody's belief is wrong. Can't deny that. But if you push an ideology that people inherently know is wrong, not saying that maybe it's because of the pride flag, maybe it's because of other things that he feels the pride flag stands for, because they have a lot of crap that gets lumped with the LGBTQ community. Some of them are great people. Will not deny that. Some of them are pieces of shit. Some of them only identify as that because they're pedophiles. Okay? Just how it is.
Sorry, I'm going to interrupt you for a second. Just because, was he did he carry legally or no? Did it say?
I haven't read the story. I just read the headline. It was right before we started the podcast.
So I'm going to make a chance. I'm going to sound stupid probably. Just because he's pro 2A but doesn't carry legally and is a responsible adult doesn't mean the fact that we too think that person's stupid. Like, there have been stupid people that have not trained with a gun before and try to be like John Wick.
Yeah. The point I want to bring up, though, is I want to acknowledge that the loss of life is horrible, but we also need to acknowledge something else. When you have a vast majority of the population of America who is already against the, let's say, just they're already against, pedophilia, they're already against the LGBT community for whatever reasons they have. So if you try to push this social ideology down someone's throat so much, don't you think someone's gonna snap?
Yeah.
Haven't we already seen it? Like, again, I'm not trying to glorify what happened. I want to make sure everybody is very clear on this. Loss of life for any situation is bullshit.
It is. It's like...
but you have the Pulse nightclub shooting in Orlando.
Yeah.
Which was an LGBTQ bar.
Yeah.
You have multiple gay nightclubs that have been shot up and people have died and lost their life because these people are snapping, because you shouldn't be pushing your fucking theories and your fucking ideologies on people's kids or on people. If you didn't own a gun, Matt, I wouldn't sit here and try to teach and wouldn't, try to teach you if you didn't want to learn. I wouldn't try to convince you to own a gun if you didn't want to learn, and vice versa. And with anybody else, I don't expect everybody to believe what I believe, and I'm not going to kill you for it.
What's the second rule in gun safety?
Don't
Never
point at something you don't intend to destroy.
Exactly.
So, people may be vegan. I'm not going to sit here and try to convince a vegan all the great benefits of eating meat. I'm still going to eat my fucking steak. You be a rabbit somewhere else. I'm not going to convince you to drink whiskey. I'm not going to convince you to drive a big truck. I'm not going to convince you to drive a vehicle at all. Like, you do you, boo. I'm going to do me regardless of how you feel. But you don't need to be taking people's lives because of it.
Yeah, and to kind of piggyback off your thing, God, the service is like piggyback off of you. Piggyback of what?
Just pull my hair.
To piggyback what off of Catton's saying, even as law-abiding gun owners, citizens that conceal carry, we don't want to take a life. The only thing is that if you come at us threatening for our lives, then it's either our life or someone that is trying to rob us with the gun in their hand. That's the thing, is that we don't want to take a life. If you are wanting to take a life, you shouldn't own a gun.
The reason I carry is the main reasons I carry is I have kids. I have 3 kids, and I have a wife. I have a mother-in-law and a mother. And, if I'm out and about and there's a Texas mall shooting again, like or you know, a scenario like what happened in Texas a couple months ago at a mall, where several people and a few children lost their lives because some dude started opening up. You know, I don't want to be in that position, but I go out in the world with my family, and I can be put in that position at any time.
Great example of this, Mr. Not Eli Double Tap, but Elijah, the 22-year-old that stopped that mass shooter with because he had a gun himself.
Yeah, because he was a licensed, concealed, you know, citizen. He had training. Like, people knew that. I don't want to be in that position, but I don't want to be in that position without an equalizer. I'm not going to have that thing, but I'm going to have something. And at least my reasons for carrying are purely defensive for myself, my family, and the citizens around me.
Yeah.
I don't need to use my gun in an aggressive manner where I'm the aggressor. That's not how that's not the way I've been trained. My training is solely defensive. I'm aggressive defensive, but it's defensive. I don't need to be aggressive.
Speaking about training and things that you can actually have fun with now at this point, have you seen what was it? Garandthumb's review on the 8.6?
It's a beautiful round.
Yeah. So tell you what I'll do if Granthumb Mike doesn't mind, I'm gonna put a short little clip of it right here.
We're going to step back to 50 because that round literally does not care at all. It has some penetration. That is 100% the guy she told you not to worry about right there. 50 yards, 8.6 black.
So makes me think though. What would you rather?
It makes me moist.
Yeah. What would you rather have? A 8.6, or what would you buy first? 8.6 or a honey badger from Q, aka Kevin Bridington?
I would build a precision 8.6. If I'm going to build an 8.6, it's going to be a bolt action or a lever action. Preferably a bolt action, but a lever action would be pretty cool. But obviously, I'm going for that subsonic distance. I want that penetration.
Let us know in the comments below what would you rather choose, the 8.6 or having more along the lines of a honey badger. And from what I've heard,
the honey badger is in 300 blackout. By the way,
yeah, I know.
I think it's very clear that we make that known that the 6.8 blackout is
8.6.
Sorry, the 8.8. I really do. The 8.6 blackout versus a 300 blackout platform. I will take the 6.8 or 8.6 blackout because that's a rifle that I want for distance. That's a rifle I want for precision and accuracy. But at the same time, I want that zero report.
And velocity too, because you what was the
three blocks of ballistics gel it ran through?
What was it? The twist rate of the inside the barrel. I forgot.
I didn't hear if he said what the twist rate was,
because I know it's insane.
I'm gonna say it's probably a 1/10.
Yeah. Because the honey badger is the exact same way with an insane amount of rotation inside the barrel.
Yeah, and the honey badger, I believe, is a 1/8.
Yeah.
Normally, you get a 1/6, 1/8 is normal.
Yeah.
So maybe the honey badger is roughly about an 8 or a 10, and like I am not versed in gunsmithing. However, I will be taking classes for SDI soon.
Snoring dummy idiots.
Snoring dummy idiots. Totally derailed me. So I'm gonna be honest and say I don't know like how high in twist rates they go just yet. But I'm sure it's fucking fairly gnarly.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's fucking tight on the inside too.
That's what she said.
Yeah, I'm sure it's tight. I bet you it's wrong.
So,
but I think I will be building an 8.6 at the end of my.
But do you think it might be one of those projects to where it's like build at your own whatever that you desire, or you have to build a specific thing?
Yeah. So like that's one thing I've been doing some research about gunsmithing. I'm not a gunsmith. I haven't been practicing it, but what I've been reading is like you have to use materials that can withstand those tolerances. Like, the 8.6 is a larger round. There's more powder behind it. It's relative to the 300 blackout.
Mm-hmm.
But if you've seen the round, it's got like this weird divot inside of it, and it's got slits down the side of the projectile to make sure that it mushrooms out at that at the suggested velocity. So, I think that you could build it in many different platforms: bolt action, lever action, piston, gas. I just think that you have to make sure that your materials can meet the tolerances of those pressures.
Yeah. Please don't scotch yourself.
Yeah, don't use old slap rounds in 50s. Don't do it. Like, yeah, they're cool.
Yeah.
But just don't do it.
Did you hear what he sent it to Mark Serbu, the slap round, and it
Yeah.
turns out that it was two pistol. What is it? What goes inside the bullet? It wasn't
The
rifle.
powder?
It wasn't rifle, huh?
The powder?
Yeah, it
Or
was
the projectile?
Yeah, it was the powder. It was meant for pistols, not for rifle.
Still, no, I see. I don't think that that's accurate.
Well, no, because the way that if you take a look at it, how it exploded, it's the same way as how you look at like a what's it accurate? Same type of recoil to same type of pressure as you would as like a pistol. It hit it rearward.
But see that you got to think the compression of that round inside the receiver.
Mm-hmm.
The projectile needs two things: it needs pressure and it needs detonation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. To detonate at such a velocity as it did,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm talking about the round explosion itself, not it hitting the striker or the firing pin, and that, but like the explosion of the round itself, the pressures that it produced had to have been rifling powder. There's no way. I'm just saying, I don't think pistol powder has that velocity.
Possibly, but the explosion, though, that's what I'm saying, is like the recoil, the amount of pressure in the back, as opposed to sending it forward.
Now, if it did
Yeah.
have a bunch of pistol powder in it, if that's the case,
Yeah.
it would have had to have been a lot.
It was probably, the way that Mark Scherber said it is like they had some rifle powder into it, but in order to make it look good and accurate, they added the pistol powder to it. More and more than what they should have.
Yeah. You know who packs a lot of powder?
Article 1776.
You goddamn right.
I love that transition. Good job on that. Head
Pack
on
a
over
lot
to
of powder.
Head on over to article1776.com. Get your clothes of freedom. You can get your stack bodies, your tack hikes and crack pipes. You can get the outer tack ops, whatever one that you choose.
Your new hats.
Yep. You can choose all the discount codes below. And I want to say thank you all so much for watching, listening on the Spotify, Google Play, Google Podcast, and YouTube's everywhere that you see us. Thank you for watching, listening, everything. My name is Matthew Kicklighter. You can find me on Twitch as MK Warhammer and everything else in the link description below. Please, Scottsdale, give me your socials and everything.
Scottsdale87 on Twitch and Twitter, and Scottsdale_87 on what's the other one?
Instagram.
Instamans.
Instafucks.
Instabots.
Yeah. What about X?
Yeah, so Twitter, Scottsdale87, but now it's X, so it's still Scottsdale87.
Yeah. So with this grandeur joke of dads.
Yes. Painkillers are just the mute notification functions for the body. Have a good night.
Bye, guys.